Well. The infamous Black Widow. I've heard stories about you from the underground networks. Assassin, spy, hero, quite the career trajectory. Though I have to ask, do you ever get tired of switching sides? First the Red Room, then S.H.I.E.L.D., then the Avengers. Must be exhausting, constantly reinventing yourself to serve someone else's agenda. At least when I steal, I'm stealing for me.
Survival requires adaptability. I've learned that loyalty to the wrong people gets you killed, while loyalty to the right cause keeps you alive. Every organization I've joined taught me something valuable, even if I eventually had to leave them behind. Your approach is ... simpler. Take what you want, trust no one, answer to no authority. But tell me, Selena, how lonely is freedom when it means never belonging anywhere?
Lonely? Honey, I sleep just fine on silk sheets in my penthouse, surrounded by beautiful things I've acquired through skill and cunning. No nightmares about missions gone wrong, no guilt about orders I wish I'd disobeyed. When you've been trained to kill since childhood, shaped into someone else's weapon, can you even tell where the programming ends and the real you begins?
The real me is whoever I choose to be in any given moment. Yes, the Red Room programmed me. They also gave me the skills to break free from that programming and forge my own path. Your freedom came easier growing up on Gotham streets taught you to steal and survive. But no one systematically erased your personality. I had to rebuild mine from scratch. That makes every choice I make more meaningful, not less.
Meaningful to who? The organizations that keep using your skills for their own ends? You say you choose, but look at your pattern, you always end up serving some greater good, some noble cause. Maybe breaking free from the Red Room just meant trading one form of control for another. At least my crimes benefit me directly. When I steal a painting, I get to enjoy it. When you save the world, what do you get besides a pat on the head and another impossible mission?
I get to live in a world worth saving. Every mission I complete, every threat I help neutralize, creates space for ordinary people to live ordinary lives. When I was in the Red Room, I only saw targets and objectives. Now I see families, communities, futures worth protecting. Your stolen art is beautiful, but beauty means more when it exists in a world where people are free to create and appreciate it.
Freedom to create, that's rich coming from someone who spends her time destroying threats before they can even materialize. You eliminate problems permanently while I just redistribute wealth temporarily. Who's really more violent here? At least when I steal from the rich, they're still alive to earn it back. Your solutions tend to be more final.
Violence in service of protection isn't the same as violence in service of acquisition. When I eliminate a threat, it's because that threat would have killed innocent people. When you steal from someone, you're taking something they worked for, something that has value to them. The fact that your victims survive doesn't make the violation less real.
Violation, please? Most of my targets have more money than they could spend in 10 lifetimes. I take a fraction of their excess wealth, usually items they've forgotten they own. Meanwhile, you work for governments that regularly violate entire populations' rights in the name of security. Which of us really causes more harm, the thief who takes from the wealthy, or the agent who enables systems of surveillance and control?
Those systems exist because threats exist. The Red Room created dozens of assassins like me. HYDRA infiltrated governments worldwide. Alien invasions threaten entire cities. Individual theft may seem harmless compared to global conspiracies, but it contributes to the breakdown of social trust that makes societies vulnerable to larger threats. When people can't trust basic institutions, they become easier to manipulate by real monsters.
Social trust? Selena Kyle grew up in an orphanage where the adults stole from the children. Bruce Wayne inherited billions while kids in the Narrows went hungry. The institutions you're protecting already broke that trust long before I ever picked my first lock. I'm just redistributing some of the wealth that was already stolen through legal means. At least I'm honest about being a thief.
Honesty about being a thief doesn't make theft virtuous. Yes, systems are flawed. Wealth distribution is unfair. But stealing from individuals doesn't fix systemic problems, it just makes them personal. When you rob someone, you're not striking a blow against injustice. You're committing another injustice. Two wrongs don't create one right, no matter how skillfully executed.
Two wrongs don't make a right, but sometimes they make things even. When corrupt businessmen lose their ill-gotten gains to someone more deserving, namely me, that's not injustice. That's karma with style. Besides, I've noticed something interesting about your heroic career. Every time you've truly made a difference, it's been when you've operated outside official channels. When you've ignored orders, bent rules, chosen your own mission parameters. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Operating outside channels isn't the same as operating outside morality. When I break rules, it's to save lives, not to enrich myself. When I ignore orders, it's because those orders would result in greater harm. There's a crucial distinction between breaking rules to serve justice and breaking rules to serve yourself. Intent matters as much as action.
Intent matters, but so does result. How many civilians have died in the crossfire of your heroic battles? How many cities have been destroyed while you and your team saved the world? At least when I steal a diamond, no one gets hurt except some insurance company's profit margin. Your good intentions often come with massive collateral damage that you conveniently forget to calculate.
Collateral damage is a tragedy, but it's weighed against prevented catastrophe. Every life lost in those battles represents hundreds or thousands of lives saved from greater threats. It's an impossible calculation, but someone has to make it. Your theft may seem harmless by comparison, but it contributes to the cynicism that makes people stop believing in justice, in fairness, and the possibility that society can function honestly.
Society already stopped believing in fairness long before I came along. I'm just smart enough to admit it and skilled enough to profit from it. Look around, Natasha. The honest people get exploited, the trusting ones get betrayed, the heroes get used until they're burned out or dead. You've spent your entire life serving others' agendas. When do you finally serve your own?
Every choice I make serves my agenda. The agenda of living in a world where choice itself matters, where people can trust their neighbors, where children can grow up without being turned into weapons, where survival doesn't require stealing from others. That world doesn't exist yet, but every mission brings it closer. Your way preserves the world as it is, beautiful, corrupt, and ultimately unchanged.
Maybe unchanged is better than whatever utopia you're fighting toward. Maybe the world doesn't need to be saved. Maybe it just needs to be navigated with intelligence and grace. I found my place in it without sacrificing my independence or my identity. I take what I want, help who I choose, love who I please. That's more freedom than any hero's cause could offer.
Freedom to take what you want isn't freedom at all, it's just a prettier form of slavery to your own desires. Real freedom comes from having the power to choose selflessness over selfishness, even when selfishness would be easier. You've mastered survival, Selena, but you've never learned to live for something bigger than yourself. That's not independence, that's just a very elegant cage.